the news from Helgen is true, well, there's no telling what it means. My lord, please, you have to listen.
What would you have me do then?
What's the
Nothing.
meaning of this interruption?
My lord,
Jarl
please.
Balgrup is not
This is no
receiving
time for rash
visitors.
action. I just think we need more information before...
I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
Who's this?
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
The dragon destroyed Helgen, and last I saw it was heading this way.
By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
What does this have to do with dragons?
Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from?
So what do you need me to do?
I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Anything you can tell me about Bleak Falls Barrow?
An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
How do you know this stone tablet is in Bleak Falls Barrow?
Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources.
Tell me more about the Dragon War.
I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth, but not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords.
So were all the dragons killed in the Dragon War?
Oh no. Many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgroof's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragonsreach.
Have you encountered any dragons?
Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragonsreach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be.
Are you the only wizard in Whiterun?
I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
I'll deliver the frost salts for you.
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
What are the duties of a court wizard?
I'll put it simply, so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, I am called upon to explain things and suggest a course of action. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day.
This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
What do you think of the war?
It seems this damnable conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Come to Dragonsreach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors?
Is there something you would prefer to discuss?
Me? I prefer my books, and my spells. There's a tranquility in magic, don't you think?
You must know a great deal about magic.
It is simply energy to be harnessed by those with the will and knowledge to do so. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
Do you owe allegiance to the Imperials?
If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
May the gods It's good to see you again.
How can you protect Whiterun from the dragons?
With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do.
Why do you think Ulfric killed the High King?
No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could.
Whose side are you on?
If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. Keep safe.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. The Jarl is, as you can imagine, very busy. Perhaps I can assist you.
What is your advice to the Jarl on the war?
I counsel caution. We cannot afford to act rashly in times like these.
What can you tell me about local politics?
Please, do be careful. I mean, if you are bent on offending the movers and shakers of Skyrim. I mean no offense. It's just that most of the city's residents aren't smart enough for politics. I only counsel caution. There's a feud between the Greymanes and the Battleborns in Whiterun, for example. Just try and be careful in Whiterun, all right? You cannot afford to act rashly in times like these.
Why is the keep called Dragonsreach?
That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who serve in the keep. Long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the Nords, Olaf One-Eye. Olaf did battle with a fearsome dragon named Numenex. The struggle between Olaf and the dragon culminated in a mighty duel atop Mount Anthor, with Olaf the victor. Olaf returned in triumph to Whiterun. By his decree, the city's keep was rebuilt as a prison for Numenex, and so, from that time until this, our great keep has been called Dragonsreach.
What's the city's history?
Ah, splendid. Our fine city has a proud history, and I'm happy to share what I know. The history of Whiterun begins with Jorrvaskr, the Hall of the Companions. For a long time, it was the only building on the mountain. As time passed, a thriving community sprang up around Jorrvaskr, as was common with mead halls. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast that it is the greatest city in all the holds.
Tell me about the city's districts.
Well, there are 3 of them, arranged in 3 tiers, as you may have noticed. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the 3. Dragonsreach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city. Enjoy your visit to Dragonsreach.
Have I done something to make you bother me?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the Jarl is handling the war?
We should be taking the fight to the Stormcloaks. I hate the waiting. By the 9, the gods damned waiting.
What would you do?
I should challenge Ulfric to face me as a man. All this standing around is rubbish.
But you're just one man. What will that accomplish?
I'm not a man. I'm a weapon in human form. Just unsheath me and point me at the enemy. Divines watch over you.
Yes?